Overcoming the challenges. Hello, my friend. This is Clyde, and I want us to continue the conversation we started yesterday about finding the strategy of dealing with temptation. We identified 3 strategies then. Read the Bible daily and meaningfully. 2, have a consistent and active prayer life. And 3, be intentional in becoming a part of a strong Christian group or community. Today we're going in deeper. Now we're going to learn how to work the strategies. How does one flesh out the scripture from 1 Peter that tells us to be sober and vigilant? 1 Peter 5 and verse 8. Pair that with the instruction that says, flee all appearance of evil. 1 Thessalonians 5 and verse 22. Now, let us go back to the Bible. We start with Joseph, son of Jacob, and his antagonist, Mrs. Potiphar, his boss's seductive wife. Let's call Joseph a modern-day Christian. His boss's wife invites him to have dinner with her before he goes home, and she used the opportunity to invite him to her bedroom. Aha! Joseph refused, and with good reason. But he refused and said to his master's wife, "Look, my master does not know what is with me in the house, and he has committed all that he has to my hand. There is no one greater in this house than I, nor has he kept back anything from me but you, because you are his wife. How then can I do this great wickedness and sin against God?" Genesis 39 verses 8 and 9. Note to self. When you say no to Satan, have a solid reason. First strike from the devil. Yes, I said the devil, because the struggle is not against this beautiful seductress, but Satan, who is trying to get Joseph to sin. Anyway, later on another occasion, they both are in the house alone, meaning she gave the staff the day off. This time she's more deliberate. She grabs him by his clothes. This time the devil is not giving him a chance to give the Jesus morality talk. This time Satan tries to shut out the scripture that you have been meditating on. So what does Joseph do with this beautiful woman practically forcing him? This time she's bold and direct and strikes his male ego. Certainly he cannot resist, or better still, there's no way he's going to escape from me. Joseph escaped. He ran out of the shirt and ran out of the house. He escaped falling into sin, but he didn't escape being thrown into jail on false accusations that this immigrant tried to rape her boss's wife. So which of the previous strategies we talked about was at work here? I would say that the memory of Scripture and his knowledge of God worked for him there. It is good and well to read the Scriptures, but when the temptation is staring you in the face, whatever kind of temptation it is, you cannot ask Satan for timeout while you pull up a scripture on your phone. It will not work like that. So the psalmist found a way to make scriptures work in those difficult and challenging moments. I have hidden your word in my heart that I might not sin against you. Psalm 119 and verse 11. Let's look at another person, a New Testament brother, Judas. I know you don't think of Judas as a brother, but he too has a testimony. For 3+ years, he was part of Jesus' circle of disciples. Surely the culture of the brotherhood with 11 other guys and Jesus should be something Judas is aware of. Remember we talked about a fellowship with a vibrant group of sincere Christians? It has to be more than just being a number in the group. It is useful that you grow by association. It is awesome if you are able to relate to some people more than others when you are having certain troubles. There is an opportunity for your friend or friends to pray with you and pray for you. In Judas's case, we read something terrible but real. Then Satan entered Judas, surnamed Iscariot, who was numbered among the 12. So he went his way and conferred with the chief priests and captains how he might betray him to them. And they were glad and agreed to give him money. So he promised and sought opportunity to betray him to them in the absence of the multitude. Luke 22 verses 3 to 6. Oh boy. What do you do when you realize that Satan has entered you, or more specifically, has got into your head? One thing you could do is what James recommends. Submit yourselves then to God. Resist the devil and he will flee from you. James 4 and verse 7. It is not easy at that stage, but it becomes a little easier to do because you have been active in your relationship with God. And so you know what it is to call out to Jesus for help in times of trouble. Another thing you could do is call a friend, and I mean that real Christian friend, and say, hey, I can't get into details right now, but please, please, please pray for me. Satan is on my case. That is a friend who will stop what he's doing and begin to pray, and might go further by calling some other friends from your fellowship to pray because you're in battle. Are you following me? Judas kept quiet, and that made it easier for Satan, who now controlled the territory, to just gradually erode any resistance. The money was attractive. Who would resist the modern day equivalent of 30 pieces of silver? This business of temptations and falling into sin is not child's play, and it requires each of us to dwell in the secret places of the Most High God. Psalm 91 and verse 1. That is translated to mean stay close to God all the time. Don't play games with the devil because he doesn't back off. Always remember, regardless of how nice a Christian you are, that he has one goal and one goal only: to steal, kill, and destroy. John 10 and verse 10.